taking a puppy for a walk, basically the puppy hasn't been taught how to walk properly. Yeah. So the puppy is just doing what it wants. And often what puppies want to do is pull on the leash, walk on everyone's lawn, stop and look at everything going on, and just feel that they're completely in charge of that walk.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we're setting up our dog to not have good walking manners as an adult.
Yeah, there's something called rehearsal, which is going to drive their behavior moving forward. So if they practice being, untrained on the leash and pulling here and grabbing there and, all the things that come along with trying to walk with a young puppy who is
and it's adorable. Like, it's adorable watching it, but we know as dog trainers, it just bleeds over to the rest of their training.
Yeah, it makes your life so much harder in the long run if they've rehearsed the exact opposite of what you want.
Right.
And then you turn around and try to teach them what you want. You're so much better off to flip the script, right? Take that card out from in front of the horse, put it back behind the horse, spend some time first teaching the puppy how to walk nicely. Yes. Teach them some leash manners. This is white room worthy in the very, very beginning stages. And then from there, we can start to add distractions. We can start to add color to the room. We can start to add, toys and maybe one of our other dogs we can use as a distraction. And then we can go out front in the house and we can work on those leash manners. And then we can go down the block maybe, it's all steps and stages. It's sort of like starting in junior kindergarten and then graduating to senior kindergarten and then grade 1 and 2 and 3, except dog style.
Right. Yes. Yes.
So, yeah. I mean, take the time it takes, right? It's going to be so much better for you in the long run. The other concern with puppies is vaccinations. Right, and of course, it's very widely accepted at this point that the small risk that comes along with them not having their full course of vaccination is a much smaller risk than not socializing until they've had their full course of vaccination.
Right.
So standard protocol in North America is that puppies should get a vaccination at 8 weeks, 12 weeks, and 16 weeks. So as long as your puppy has had that 8-week shot, with due caution, you can get them out and about. Right. So, for example, you can go to an obedience class with your puppy or a puppy class with your puppy, providing that the entire organization is very aware of vaccination concerns and is checking vaccination records on every puppy that comes in the building. We are absolute sticklers about this because it is not worth the risk. Nope. So unfortunately, sometimes people will forget their vaccination records or they'll have a hard time getting them and they show up and unfortunately we can't let them into class with that puppy. So a lot of the times it's a disappointing situation, but I always say to people, I know you're disappointed right now, but rest assured that we were being just as diligent about keeping your puppy safe as we are about keeping everybody else's puppy safe. Yes. So be aware of the vaccination concerns as well.
Yes. And I was just thinking too, where I used to live was quite a quiet street and I didn't see very many dogs on my street. And I used to take puppies out to the front and, let them see cars go by and people go by and all that. And I felt comfortable because there wasn't a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
Where I live now, there's a lot of dogs out front.
It would be different.
And I wouldn't pick, I was just thinking as we were talking, I wouldn't take a puppy out front.
Yeah.
I might carry a puppy and sit on my porch or, walk to the street carrying the puppy to let them see sights and sounds. But I would never dare put them down on my grass or on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
There's a ton of dogs on my street and I don't know their vaccination status.
Exactly. Try to avoid places that have dogs frequenting because you don't know if everybody's been vaccinated or not. So unless you're in that controlled situation like the puppy school or something of that nature, you want to use due caution. I actually love strip malls for that reason. So I always pick ones that don't have any sort of pet related stores in them because I'm not interested in, running into other dogs, et cetera, with my young puppy or, going to a strip mall where I'm hoping to expose my puppy a little bit and there's, 3 pieces of dog poo. So,
yes, because that could be full of parasites.
Yeah, absolutely. Parasites, parvo. There's so many dangers to your puppy with other dog poo that you're not aware of where it's come from or, what the health is behind it. So we want to avoid as much as possible. avoid the puddles,
Yes.
where wildlife might go to the bathroom, etc.
Right.
So strip malls are perfect because like if I go into like the Longo's Plaza, right? That's a local grocery store chain here. So if I go into the Longo's Plaza, there's probably not going to have been a lot of dogs there.
Right.
So I can stand outside with my puppy. And I can use the back of the parking lot if I want to, if we're in the early stages and I want to make sure that there's not a ton of distractions for my puppy. I can move right up to the entryway of the store if I want to, and basically I can either hold my puppy or I can wander around. We can play a little bit. I can do little walking on leash games with a little bit of distraction happening. We can tuck off to the side, or we can go right into the mainstay of the action. So I love those spaces.
Yes.
Do you have any other go-tos?
Well, I'll take my dog, same thing, to, strip malls or to the far corner of a grocery store parking lot.
Farthest corner of the earth.
I also will take them to the forest. I won't go to the busiest. We live in Southern Ontario and it's such densely populated. Yeah. Some of our forests are just as busy as the malls. Yeah. You walk down the forest trail and it's like you're in a mall. There's so many people. So I choose a forest that's a little bit further away with not as much activity, and I'll take my dog to the forest and I'll let them investigate, logs and rocks and piles of leaves and, climbing up, the edge of the escarpment.
I'm singing log in my head now again. Didn't we do that a couple episodes ago?
Yes,
oh
yes.
My goodness, sorry.
So I'm going to look for nature too, like isolated nature areas. Let my dog see a stream. Let my dog see some Canada geese.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let them go near where the Canada geese poo all is, because
call.
Canada geese make a mess of things. Ooh. But I might take them to. We also live near the Great Lakes, and I might take them down to a marina and let them see all those sights too. But I'm always vigilant of areas where other dogs are frequenting or other dogs approaching.